Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Blessings be on the speaker, the pure consciousness, or the sense of self-awareness, who would manifest the words of truth and the words of wisdom always. In the past life, he has manifested, or she has manifested in the words of truth and wisdom. In the present life, he has manifested and manifesting, or she has manifested or manifesting in the present life, the words of truth and wisdom, and in the upcoming life, the words of truth and wisdom that he or she would manifest, the pure consciousness, through this finite body and through this finite mind. And blessings be on the listener, the one who herself or himself has uncluttered, or the truth seeker, or the one who comes in this presence and seeks for the truth, the one who does not make up their mind already, the one who is a silent spectator or a silent observer, does not accept nor discard. So last night I received an inquiry about what it means to self-love, and the person, they are good people, they follow Kriya Yoga and meditation with me, and they have been around for quite a while, and they follow the words of truth and wisdom, and they are following me now on YouTube, and they have been around for quite a while. So every now and then we exchange some comments or have a brief conversation between us, and they believe that my insight, or me focusing on the different aspects of life through the words of truth and wisdom, has dramatically changed their life and the way they look at life. So it's a great thing. It means that I am making a difference in the I am making also a prominent difference in the course of the nature and in the course of cosmos and in the course of creation. So they said that, can you please zero in? Can you please zero in or zoom in or focus to the words through the words of truth and wisdom about what it means to self-love. Self-love, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty that's the word I'm looking for, or the phrase. It's pretty self-explanatory. Self-love, the expression. Does self-love means that I look at the mirror and I say, oh, look, I mean, when I look at the mirror, does self-love mean when I look at the mirror, I say, oh, how brilliant, or how cool, or does the self-love mean that I personally, or does the self-love mean that I personally feel or find myself arrogant among the creation? Does that mean that I feel or find myself arrogant among creation? Does this mean when I look at the mirror, I find, oh, look at that, how cool, with arrogance? Or does self-love mean that personally and silently inside I compare myself to other people, those around me, and I say, I think I am much holier or much better? You see, does self-love means all of that I gave you a list? Does self-love mean the physicality or the physical appearance in front of the mirror? Or I find myself better, or I find myself holier among the creation? Does self-love means that I become arrogant? Does self-love means that I become arrogant and I become selfish among creation, and I only put myself above and all everybody, and I forget about rest of the creation? Does self-love mean that? So not only they inquired, and I would be honest with you, I find this inquiry extremely fascinating. And the reason I find it fascinating, because it is a reoccurrence in everyday society. One way or another, there is somebody who thinks all the things that I just numbered or counted, this is what self-love means. It's their perception of self-love. This is what and this is how they think self-love is. You see, so we would look into, and we are going to look into what it truly means to self-love. Now, as I have told you, that there are different definitions of everything, because there are different perceptions of everything. You see, perception is, you perceive something, but it goes through the filters, the knowledge, the memory, what you have learned, it goes through that. So the perception is slightly different. Every perception is slightly different from other perception. You understand what I'm saying? Every perception is slightly different from other perception. However, we are going to look what does it mean to self-love through the eyes of mystic. So self-love, first of all, means when you take life not too seriously. You understand what I mean? That's the very fundamental definition through the eyes of a mystic. Don't miscomprehend my words. We will look into this statement what I just mentioned. Self-love, in a nutshell, on a very fundamental definition of self-love, would be when we do not take life seriously or too seriously, then we are loving ourselves. Meaning, we form attachments, first of all, in this carnation. Remember, I am sure you remember, since our birth, we go through a lot of conditioning and domestication till our bodily demise. We go through with a lot of conditioning, and we go through with a lot of domestication, and we learn through a lot of domestication and conditioning. We learn quite a few techniques and we learn quite a few skills to function in the society, which is nice and dandy. But with that, we also learn to lie to ourselves, and we learn a lot of lies. You see, so one of the lie we learn, or among many lies that we learn, one of the lie is I am my mind and I am my body. You see, this is how most people operate in the society. And then when they think they are their body and their mind, they automatically, I'm not saying naturally, please mind you, pay attention and focus to my words, I am not saying naturally, because there's nothing natural about it, but automatically they think that they are their mind and they think they are their body. Now, when they think they are their mind and they are their body, it's automatic for them to think, to take life which is happening around them, their definition of life, and they take it very seriously. You see, does that make sense to you? It would make sense. We'll explain to you. You see, we will explain to you. It would make sense just in a bit. You see, excuse me. It's automatically they think this is their life. You see, this is all there is. They say this is it. You see, they say this is all there is and this is it. They even say that there is nothing before we are born and there is nothing after we die. So these type of lies, actually that's not self-love. That's self, in a way, it's kind of self-abuse. You understand why I'm saying it's not self-love. Self-love means that you first understand what's going on. You see, most people don't do that. Self-love means you take time to understand what's going on. You do not just walk into the situations blindly or step into the situations. You take time. That's self-love. Because self-love means there is no self-abuse or self-harm. When you do all these measures, when you take time fully to comprehend yourself and the experience which is generating around you, then of course you self-love yourself because you are more peaceful now. It's automatic. Self-love does not mean that you are looking at the mirror and you are admiring yourself with arrogance and all those things I mentioned when I started this video 15 minutes ago. That becoming arrogant, becoming religious and thinking holier than thou. You see all that human psychological drama. It has nothing to do with self-love. Self-love means when you take time to understand what's going on, what am I, how I function, when you have read all the user manual of yourself. If you don't, then you think this is it, I am the mind, I am the body, and you think there is nothing before or there would be nothing after. It means that you don't even hold yourself accountable for anything. You see, it means you are not holding yourself accountable whatever you do. In other words, that's what it means. That's not self-love. And two, they become very serious about their definition or interpretation of life or connotation of life, whatever the English word you want to use. They think that I have to go to work, I have to take my work seriously, I have to form a family, I have to breed, I have to maintain the false image I'm carrying in the society, and I have to, once in a while I would travel and I would look for the money and I would fulfill one desire and there would be tender standing up, but I will not give any consideration to what am I doing, and they do it every day. The drama of work, the coming back, the family, the friends, all the society. How am I doing in the society? What is my image? And posing and becoming posture of 10 different false images, and they think it is what it is, and this is life, and this is it. That's not self-love. You understand? It has nothing to do with self-love, any of these activities. Please know that. Self-love means that when you do all these activities, but you become fully involved in life, this is not self-love. This is just that you have told yourself that this is it, and you do it over and over and over till our life is ended. And when the time comes, we look, like this already, with empty eyes, with blank eyes, we are looking around the corners of the room and the people who came to visit us. This is when the time is up. Our time is becoming over, and we say, oh, I didn't get to even enjoy anything, and it's already over. You see, this is what happens to us when we become sick and we do not challenge what is handed over to us and what we believe. We do not challenge. This is what happens in the end. We get the surprise, and the shock would come. You see, so self-love means when you fully understand life. Yes, work is important. I work more than, I would say, I work quite a bit, you see, and also I am fully involved in every aspect of life, not just one aspect. I also understand I was not born to work. Most people think they were born to work. No, that's not self-love. I also understand I was not born to work. I was born to admire life. I was born to admire those around me. I was born to admire the beauty. I was born to take time to smell flowers. I was born to walk on the earth and admire it. I was born to admire beauty in creation. When you are so fully involved and you have made work or earning money or earning a living sole purpose of your life, you don't have time for this. That's not self-love. Self-love is just the opposite, when you take time and appreciate everything. So this is the fundamental definition of self-love. Then we see there are other people. Every now and then, I'm sure every one of us, no matter what society we go, no matter what religion we look at, every now and then there has to be, I'm not saying all, you see, mind you, but I'm saying every now and then you would come across to a person, and that person usually happened to be a religious person. It doesn't matter what religion. That's not the focus of the interest or the focus of this statement. This person would look around. This person is usually very lonely. It doesn't matter it's a he or she. This kind of person can be found in any society and can be found in any religion. This person has read some books about the religion, learning to accept the lies as truth. You see, reading books. There's nothing wrong with reading either, but it does not mean that you accept it all the way, whatever it is written. You challenge, does this make sense? Is it healthy to me? Is it friendly to me? This is what self-love is. You see, I'm trying to explain it in such a simple and such a profound way that you cannot miss anything. And I'm sure that I am just doing that. Anyway, so you would find a person like that in any society, in any religion. This person has read some books, acquired some knowledge about a particular religion, which is a human construct. Every religion is formed by humans. It's not coming from divine. It's not coming from sacred. All the religions on the face of this planet are human constructs. You don't need a religion to get in touch with divine. You see, I don't follow any religion. You see, somebody can say, well, you're a Hindu. Well, I've got news for you, pal. Hinduism is not a religion, first of all. But we don't want to be too deviate right now. We'll explain that in some other time in the future. Anyway. So you would find this person is looking around. It's usually a very lonely person, very deprived. You can see all this on their face, you see, looking around and checking everybody out, looking around and checking everybody out and looking through the eyes of critic, not to admire the beauty, but looking through the eyes of critic and judging their actions, judging creation, and in the end assuming in their heart or inside them, I think I am better among all these people. And that's one of the very prominent reason a person like that is lonely, because nobody falls on their expectations they have for others, and nor they are better, by the way. Of course they are not better. You have read a couple of books, you think you are a scholar or you are a champion or you have exercised a particular religion, so what? It means nothing to me. Come have a conversation with me. I have dealt with the conversations in the past with people like that. And not that I'm there to refute, I don't pay that much attention to people like that, you see. And I'm not saying it with any arrogance, it's a fact. It's a waste of time. But every now and then when I come across, you see, there's nothing, I don't accept them as special, nor they are holy, you see. They have no meanings in my life. The priest, mullah, rabbi, this or that, or swami, it has no meanings in my life. You see, the only thing which has any meanings in my life is how much you are self-loving yourself. And I have explained in profound manner what does it truly mean to self-love. And how much you are kind those around you. Of course, when you self-love yourself, when you do all these healthy things, when you look at life, when you take time to appreciate life, and first starting from yourself, you self-love. It's only natural for that love to spread around, you see. Self-love also does not mean that one becomes selfish and says, I gotta put myself first among all these people. I gotta take care of myself first, because if I cannot take care of myself, I cannot take care of anybody. Yes, that's slightly true. First, we have to take care of ourselves. But what does it mean really to take care of ourselves? It means when we appreciate ourselves, not with arrogance, not with through some religion, but what we essentially are. One of the steps is making time every day for ourselves and sitting in a super silent corner and perform some basic meditation, even hence it would become some clarity in our perception. And then when we are in a more stable and balanced position, then it's automatically and it's only natural that we spread this love around. It does not mean that I gotta just take care of myself. As soon as I take care of my needs or myself, I'm running away. You see, that you would accumulate tremendous amount of karma and it would come around to you. There is no other way. Have you heard the English saying that what goes around comes around? It's very plain English. It means you put that kind of selfish energy around you, it would come around you. It would always come around. Karma always comes around. It's selfishness, that you just take care of your needs, you think you are important, and you ignore those around you, and you are planning to be happy by doing these small petty negative things. Then forget about it. There is no self-love here. It's selfishness, actually. It has nothing to do with self-love. Self-love is when you do exactly the opposite. That first you understand life, first you become fully aware that what's going on in this carnation with me, and then you first take care of, through that you first take care of your, and then automatically you take care of others around you. If somebody is in need, the best thing to help them, you see. If you can do it, by all means go right ahead and do it. An act of selfless, not the act of selfishness which most people are living in, but an act which is selfless. It means an act in which there is no separate self, an egg where there is no self or there is no ego. When we make practice of that, we don't force ourselves. When we self-love, it automatically natural. We spread that around us. You see, that's what self-love is. And then we spread the good deed around us. We help people, those who are in need. As a matter of fact, it's called karma yoga. It's a type of yoga. I'm not entirely sure, because my, of course, exposure in the yogic culture and meditation is quite vast, but I try to use more and more simple words here, so an average person can understand what's going on. You see, I don't do things like that. When you go to India, you would see, India is such a huge and vast country. They have 27 or 28 even local languages. And as far as I'm concerned, India does not have an official language, you see. But anyway, so you would see over there, if some Swami or some kind of sannyasi is sitting somewhere on the street with a couple of people drinking tea and talking about Bhagavad Gita and preaching them in a language that no one has no comprehension. That's why I chose English. I can also speak Hindi, not as fluently as English, because English is my first language. Of course, you know that by now. However, anyway, so I don't do that. I try to make it simple, speaking English and taking time to explain everything, you see, so everyone can understand. So the reason I read all this para, there was a man in ancient India, Gaudapada. I'm not entirely sure if you have heard of him, Gaudapada. He was a brilliant philosopher and a yogi, and also he was a brilliant, very enlightened person. And he had a student, his name was Adi Shankaracharya. So Adi Shankara and Gaudapada did remarkable work in Advaita Vedanta. They consolidated and brought it together and stuff like that. And Adi Shankara mentioned that he gave us a very remarkable and brilliant tool, which is a combination of numerous actions. If you combine all of them, the process of enlightenment becomes very expedite. Expedite is the word. So the process of enlightenment becomes expedite. That's the word I'm looking for. He gave us a combination of tools to get there. Personally, I have been maintaining these combination or set of tools for numerous years now, and I am happy that I have worked on myself. And not only that, I also try to work with others. You see, I'm always there for them, because it's very important. You make one happy human, you make one happy society. It's very important to work for others, bring clarity in their perception, bring truth and peace in their perception. It's the beautiful thing that you can give to another human. Anyway, so self-love, this is what self-love is. Self-love also means when you do not punish yourself for the mistakes you have made in your past, you see. Or self-love also means that the people who have wronged you, you forgive them too. Not only that they deserve to be forgiven, but you can move on. You see, you don't have to cling and constantly have them on your karma. That's not a good thing. So you forgive. As Lord Jesus Christ said, as Lord Jesus Christ said, that forgive so you can be forgiven. You understand Lord Jesus Christ? I'm sure you have heard of him. He said forgive so you can be forgiven. It means when you forgive somebody, then you do not constantly punish yourself. Now you let it go. You see what I mean? You don't have any emotional reaction when you hear their name or you think about them. And when you don't have any emotional reaction, it means that you shed the karma. It means that now you are not punishing yourself for someone who has wronged you. You are not punishing yourself because of somebody else's action. You forgive yourself and you forgive others. You also let the things, the mistakes you have made 10 years back or 5 years back, and you are still punishing yourself. These are the things that unfortunately we humans have learned to ignore, unfortunately. But these things must not be ignored. These things are very significant. These things are very dire. These things must be spoken. And that's why I deliver the messages, because I want to bring clarity that let's see what we are doing with this, what has been handed over to us. Let's see what we are doing, so we can rewrite the story in peace, in unity with creation. We can rewrite the story. We can claim that Milton's Paradise Lost, remember? Milton's Paradise Lost. We can claim that Paradise Lost. You understand what I'm saying? So we can claim, we can reclaim our divinity. We can reclaim our divinity. We can live with the rest of the creation with peace and harmony. This is what it means to self-love. I have explained that. You see, you hear clock ticking. So it's my time almost to appear in a meditation session. But I'm sure that I have answered your inquiry. Look into it. Rewatch the video if you have to and see if it makes any difference. As I always say, if it has a shred of truth and wisdom, it would resonate through you automatically. It's just natural. All right. Oh.